A world without wires. Before mobile phones, our world was a much quieter and less connected place. If you wanted to talk to someone, you had to be in a specific location. You needed to use a telephone that was physically attached to a wall with a long, curly cord. This meant you had to stay in one spot for the entire conversation. If you were out and needed to make a call, you had to find a public payphone. You would search your pockets for coins just to speak for a few minutes. Life moved at a slower pace because communication was not instant. Planning was essential, as you couldn't just send a quick message to say you were running late. Imagine you were supposed to meet a friend at a park. If your friend was delayed by traffic, you had no way of knowing. You would simply wait and wait and wait some more, perhaps wondering if they had forgotten. There was no simple way to check in. Business deals had to be made from an office, and important family news was often delivered hours or even days later. People wrote more letters and sent more postcards. Communication was a deliberate act, something that required time and effort. It was not something that happened on the go, while walking down the street or sitting on a bus. This reliance on fixed locations for communication shaped how society worked. Families had one shared phone number for their entire house. When the phone rang, you never knew who it was for until someone answered it. Privacy was different. A family member could easily overhear your entire conversation. For businesses, being away from the office meant being completely out of touch. Salespeople on the road had to stop at gas stations to use a payphone to report back to their boss. The idea of being reachable anytime, anywhere, sounded like something from a science fiction story, not a realistic possibility for everyday life. The need for a change was clear, even if people didn't know what that change would look like. The world was becoming faster and more global. People were traveling more for work and pleasure. The old system of wired telephones was becoming a limitation. There was a growing desire for freedom, the freedom to communicate from wherever you happened to be. This created the perfect environment for a new invention, an invention that would cut the cord and put the power of communication directly into our hands, forever changing how we interact with each other and the world around us. The journey to the mobile phone began with a man named Martin Cooper. He was an engineer working for a company called Motorola. In the early 1970s, many companies were trying to develop car phones. These were large, bulky devices that had to be installed inside a vehicle. But Martin Cooper had a much bigger and more personal vision. He believed that people shouldn't be tied to their cars to make a phone call. He wanted to create a device that a person could carry with them anywhere. His idea was revolutionary. The phone should be for the person, not for the place. On April 3, 1973, Martin Cooper made history. He stood on a street in New York City and made the very first public call from a handheld mobile phone. He used a prototype of a device that would later be known as the Motorola Dynatac 8000X. Who did he call? In a brilliant move, he called his main rival, Joel Engel, who was the head of research at Bell Labs. He told him that he was calling from a real, handheld, portable cell phone. It was a moment that signaled the beginning of a new era in personal communication, proving that his bold idea was now a reality. The first mobile phone was nothing like the sleek devices we use today. It was nicknamed the Brick for a very good reason. It was big, heavy, and bulky. The phone weighed about 1.1 kilograms, which is like carrying a small bag of sugar. It was over 23 centimeters long, not including its long black rubber antenna. You could not just slip this phone into your pocket. You had to carry it around in a briefcase or a large bag. Its design was purely functional, with a simple keypad for dialing numbers and not much else. It was a tool, not a fashion accessory. The features of this early phone were also very limited. Its main and only purpose was to make and receive phone calls. There was no screen to see who was calling, no text messaging, and certainly no internet. The battery life was also a huge challenge. After charging the phone for a very long 10 hours, you could only get about 30 minutes of talk time. Then you had to plug it back in and wait all over again. It was a very basic start, but it was the essential first step that opened the door for all the mobile technology that would follow in the coming decades, from heavy bricks to smart slates. Comparing the first mobile phones to the smartphones of 2025 is like comparing a horse-drawn cart to a sports car. The differences are enormous in every single way. The most obvious change is the size and weight. The original brick phone was heavy and cumbersome, a device you had to make a conscious effort to carry. Today's phones, like the latest iPhone or Samsung Galaxy, are incredibly thin and light. They are designed to fit comfortably in our hands and slip easily into a pocket. We have moved from heavy plastic casings to elegant designs made of glass and metal. Beyond the physical form, the functionality has exploded. The first mobile phone could only do one thing: make voice calls. It had a numeric keypad, and that was it. Modern smartphones are powerful mini-computers. They have large, high-resolution touchscreens that are vibrant and responsive. We use these screens to do everything from watching movies to navigating with GPS. They have multiple high-quality cameras that can take stunning photos and record video in 4K. The old phone had a single purpose, while the new phone has thousands of purposes thanks to apps. The way we interact with our phones has also been completely transformed. With the old brick phone, you had to press physical buttons to dial each number carefully. Today, we use intuitive touch gestures like swiping and pinching to control our devices. We can also talk to them using voice assistants like Siri or Google Assistant. These digital helpers can set reminders, answer questions, and control other smart devices in our homes. This makes using a phone faster, easier, and more accessible for everyone. The simple act of communication has evolved from just dialing to a rich, interactive experience. Perhaps the biggest difference is the concept of connectivity. The original mobile phone connected your voice to another phone. A smartphone connects you to the entire world. Through Wi-Fi and fast mobile data networks like 5G, we have instant access to the internet. This means we can send emails, browse social media, stream music, and join video conferences from almost anywhere. The old phone was a tool for one-to-one conversation. The modern smartphone is a gateway to a global network of information, entertainment, and endless communication possibilities. The pocket-sized powerhouse in our lives, mobile phones, have fundamentally changed the way we communicate and share information with each other. Before them, conversations were planned events. Now they are constant and spontaneous. We can send a quick text message to a friend to share a funny thought or a photo of what we are eating. We can make a video call to a family member who lives on the other side of the world, seeing their face and sharing a moment as if we were in the same room. This constant connection has made our relationships feel closer and more immediate, bridging physical distances in a way that was never before possible. The examples of how we use mobile phones every day are almost endless. We wake up in the morning and use our phone as an alarm clock. Then we check the weather forecast and read the morning news on it. On the way to work, we might listen to a podcast or get turn-by-turn directions from a navigation app. At work, we use it to check emails and join meetings. In the evening, we might use it to order food, pay for groceries with a mobile wallet, or relax by watching a movie. It has become our personal assistant, entertainment center, and primary window to the world. This deep integration into our daily routines is why mobile phones are such a big part of modern life. They are no longer just communication devices. They are essential tools for navigating the complexities of the 21st century. They hold our memories in photos, our social connections in contacts and apps, and our access to services in banking and shopping. Losing a phone can feel like losing a part of yourself because it is so central to how we organize and live our lives. The convenience and power they offer have made them indispensable for billions of people around the globe. In conclusion, the journey from Martin Cooper's heavy brick to the sleek smartphone in your pocket is a story of incredible innovation. What started as a simple dream to make a phone call without a wire has become the central technology of our time. Mobile phones have not just changed communication, they have reshaped our society, our economy, and our personal habits. They connect us, inform us, and empower us in countless ways every single day. As we look to the future, it is clear that the mobile phone is, and will continue to be, an inseparable part of modern human existence.